everyone. Thank you for tuning in to the Colcom Daily Questions. I'm Jeff.
And I'm Mia.
Colcom is a language exchange cafe where they not just exchange languages and conversation, but also focus on exchanging cultural experiences and also have parties from time to time.
Which is good for today's topic.
As well as what happens at Colcom is usually groups of people from all around the world meet up and they discuss certain topics and questions and find out what people's opinions are. So what we're going to do is look at one of those topics.
Yeah.
Yep. Topics.
Yes, topics.
So what's today's topic?
Today's topic is alcohol. Woohoo!
Okay.
Party time.
I like to drink.
Me too.
Okay. So question number 1.
Yep.
What kind of alcohol do you prefer to drink? If you don't drink, which beverage do you drink in a bar?
We don't need to answer the second half because I do drink. But my favorite kind of alcohol, I am not too fussy. I like beer. I like wine. I like cocktails. I like also like Korean alcohols like soju, makgeolli, everything except whiskey. I cannot drink whiskey.
I like to drink beer on its own. If I'm having food, like soju, like Korea, solsam. Like,
Yeah. Hell yeah.
That's something I like about Korean culture. Like they do like the pairing, solsam, chimek,
Yeah.
pimek, pizza and beer.
Oh, nice. Yeah. I haven't heard of that one. But
usually so it's beer with anything, wine with a pasta. So it's about pairing.
It is very much about pairing. Yes. I'm not too fussy.
Yeah.
Question?
Beer.
Beer?
Korean beer is good too.
It's okay. It's debatable.
Okay.
Question number 2. How do you like to celebrate good news? Is drinking a good way to celebrate?
I do like to have a drink if I've had like good news. Because I'm very happy. I'm like, oh wow, I want to tell other people. So if I've gotten a good commercial or I'm like, hey, that thing I wanted, I got it. Yeah.
Nice. And then you go out and sort of get a drink for that?
Yeah, as well as like a birthday.
Yeah, sure. I agree. I think it's a nice way to like sort of be social with friends. So if you're celebrating something or just in a good mood, usually it's fun to go out and get a drink with friends or even just drink at home. I don't know. Depends on your mood. But it is fun.
All right. So question number 3. Is there a social pressure to drink in your culture? How do you feel about this pressure?
Ooh. It depends. I feel like usually it's not as much pressure as maybe, say, Korean culture. I've noticed there's a bit more pressure here. From my time here, I've noticed that. But back home, I don't think... I mean, it's kind of tricky. Like, you don't have to drink, but I feel like because most people tend to drink, you do feel like you're maybe missing out on the fun if you don't drink. But there's no real... it's not like your friends are going to be like, you have to drink. Like, they'll be fine if you don't want to, but maybe personally you might feel like, I don't know.
Different than what it is in Korea. Like in high school, there was like the weekend house party pressure.
Sure.
So there was like the pressure on the weekend to like socialize, to party, like, to be popular. And if you wanted to be popular, you had to be invited to a house, and so there's a lot of underage drinking pressure.
That's true. That's the same back home too. Yeah.
And then there's not as much pressure like when I was in my 20s, but now like in Korea, it's kind of hard to meet people. Yeah. So they're like, I feel like as a foreigner still like. Not like doing something social that doesn't involve alcohol is hard to find.
It is hard to find here.
If you want to be social, if you want to meet new people, you probably have to drink.
Yeah, and especially, I mean, I haven't had as much like 회식, like this culture of like going out with your company or your colleagues to drink. But I've heard that if your boss orders more drinks, if your colleagues all are drinking and you don't, it's seen as like disrespectful.
Yeah, I've heard that about like the office life too.
Yeah.
Like, even like people that are from like cultures like because of their religion, they can't drink alcohol.
Oh yeah,
like,
sure.
They got like a lot of pressure too. Like, well, come on.
Yeah.
You're not back home. You're in Korea. This is what we do.
Yeah, there's a lot of that. But I mean, yeah.
Yeah.
Alrighty, question number 4. Does alcohol help people get to know each other? How?
Alcohol does get to know each other. So my friend said it's like liquid lubricant. So it's for conversations.
Yeah, it does help, for sure. I feel like I become more out of my shell when I have some alcohol. I become my more truer self. So, I think it does help with socializing. Especially if you're trying to meet new people too. I feel like, if you've got a bit of alcohol in you, like it tends to help, you've got a bit more confidence to approach people you might not have approached before, to just like talk, introduce yourself, whatever.
Yeah. Like I like even like I do stand up too. Like it's like for usually like people when they first have to do their go up to do stand up, they're very nervous.
Sure.
And like they'll take like a shot just to cut the edge off.
Yeah.
To get a little bit of liquid courage.
Yeah.
So I think it helps people get to know each other. Even like it makes people more stronger. In a sense.
I know there's like the stereotype, but like for girls, I don't know if it's the same with guys, but like if you go to a club or a bar, like girls are the sweetest in like the bathroom. Like you just make friends with like, even if it's just like making friends for like that night, but like you go into the bathroom and like when you're sort of intoxicated, like you're so friendly. Girls will like share anything. If you need something, they're like, I got you. Like,
Well, yeah, for even like alcohol helps people get to know you. Like if you go to the bar as a guy, like too, like how do you introduce yourself to a girl? Like, can I buy you a drink?
Oh, that's true. Yeah. As long as they don't do that to get something in return, that tends to happen. If
I've seen this happen. I've seen like my friends and we went to a club.
Yeah.
And my one friend that's is less attractive. He went to a girl. He's like, "Oh, can I buy you a drink?" She's like, "Okay." And then she like drinks a little bit of it. She's like, "Well, I'm gonna go talk to my friends." And then she walks to the other side of the bar and pretended to trip and pour her drink.
Oh.
That my friend on another friend.
Yeah.
To try to break the ice.
Oh my god.
Oh my god! I'm so sorry.
Oh. Wow.
No, let me buy. Like I'm
like
sorry.
Yeah, I'll buy you one too. Yeah. Dang. Well, yeah. Interesting.
Okay, so question number 5.
Yeah.
In the U.S., you cannot drink alcohol on the street or in the parks. How do you think about that?
I mean, I think that's also kind of a rule here too, not just in the States. I think in many places, even back home in Australia too, it's a rule. So I don't know where it's allowed, but I mean, like, I don't know.
I think you're allowed. You purchase it at the convenience stores here, and you can drink it in public. Like, well, I've been doing that, and I haven't really been busted.
That's true. Maybe at night it's different.
Yeah. Like even like one time I was drinking with my friends, and we were on the way back, and there was a convenience store at a transfer spot. And they even had alcohol, and we got there, and then someone yelled, "It's like, hey, you can't drink alcohol." And we're like, we bought it inside.
Right.
In Canada, you can't drink out in public. What people often do is brown paper bag it.
Yeah, that's a common thing. Yeah. I mean, I don't know. Like, I'm not sure why it's. I guess if you're like being rowdy and like causing trouble, like it makes sense. But like, in and of itself, drinking in public isn't necessarily like, it's not like smoking per se, where like the like actual smoke itself is going to affect people around you. Whereas like alcohol, again, unless you're like, being a mess, you're not necessarily going to like, it's not affecting others. So I don't know.
It might be just like, they just don't want children to be exposed to it.
I guess like if it's after hours, as in like, around midnight,
or, like, broken bottles.
That's true. Yeah, that's what I mean. As long as you're not making a mess or like being bad, I don't think it's a problem.
If you dispose of it in the proper
bin.
Yeah.
All right, question number 6. Could you date someone who drinks every day versus could you date someone who never drinks?
Every day?
That's
no.
a lot. I think that's borderline maybe alcoholic.
Like, it would be, I would like to date someone that does drink.
Sure.
Obviously. Because that's a hobby you could share. And so, but every day is a little, too much.
I think so too.
Versus someone that doesn't drink. Now, because I do drink, there is also that pressure that if someone doesn't drink, it's like they're kind of like a buzzkill if you bring them out.
Sure.
Yes. Yeah, if you don't, a buzzkill is basically someone that just like kills the atmosphere, that sucks the energy out. That's no one to, someone that isn't fun and ruins other people's fun.
Sure. I guess I'm kind of the same, like, because I do drink socially and I enjoy drinking when I'm out with friends and whatnot, like, ideally I'd want to date someone that's in the same boat as me.
Yeah.
Someone that, wouldn't drink at all. It'd be a little tough just because, what are they going to, I'm sure they'll order something, but like, if I want to go to a bar or whatnot.
Recently, what's happened now is like when my friends come out and their wives, and the wife doesn't want to drink, but my friend wants, he misses me, he wants to drink, he doesn't want the night to end, and I feel like even like I'm causing problems.
Because
I'm contributing to like the guy's addiction, and then the wife hates me. I'm like, oh no, I don't want him.
Oh my God.
I don't want you to hate me. I want you to like me.
Yeah. Dang. Well, no.
Let's look at question number 7.
Yeah.
Do you think drinking can be a hobby?
I mean, it can be.
Geez, what? You have to like define hobby.
Exactly, because I was going to say, like, there's people that do love to kind of be a connoisseur of beers or wine, and like genuinely enjoy going out to try different beer brands, different wine, whatever brands, all that. So I think maybe the interest, but a hobby, it's like it's the word hobby is like something you do frequently and enjoy. I mean, it can be.
Like you invest money, but it's like if you're like wine tasting can be a hobby.
Exactly.
Like go on a wine tour. That's
exactly.
a hobby.
Yeah.
You collect certain bottles of wine and all, like, you could give advice and all that. For wine, I could see that as a hobby, like wine tasting.
Yeah.
And even like there's also some friends that do like brew in their own beer as a hobby too.
Yeah, that can be a hobby.
And
So
they go to conventions and they exchange like tips and equipment and all that stuff.
Yeah, for sure.
So that's a hobby, but the art, but just drinking. No.
Yeah, I was gonna say I don't know if that's a hobby, but it's something you enjoy for sure. Okay, question number 8. Have you ever blacked out? What happened?
I blacked out.
Yeah.
I blacked out a lot of times.
What was your worst experience? Do you remember? Well, maybe you don't remember in the time, but...
Well, like, there's blackout, right? And usually I just end up in my home.
Okay, that's a good sign.
I have a good autopilot.
That's good.
Now, there's also, like, brownout.
Oh, okay.
You kind of, it's
in
basically
between,
like fast forward and all that stuff. You lose like track of the night, but then you like sober up a little bit.
We don't use that phrase, sir.
So it's you lose track, but it's just you fast forward. So geez, it was when I was in Osaka, and I was looking for my my hostel.
Yeah.
But I was drunk, so I didn't know my bearings.
Oh, no, yeah.
Instead, my hostel was north, and I went south. And at one point, I thought I saw the building that was right by.
Yeah.
And I was like circling around trying to find it.
Yeah.
And somehow I stumbled into a zoo.
What the hell?
Yeah.
Okay.
And then, like, finally, I got to the front gate and like shaking. I could hear like seals in the background, and then like the Japanese security guard for the zoo, they go, "What the hell?"
Yeah.
And like I just bolted and ran for found the sub. Thankfully, there's a subway nearby, and I just ran there.
Oh my God.
Then when I looked at the next day, when I looked at my pedometer on my phone, I had walked over 30 kilometers.
Holy hell.
In like the span of like 5 hours just trying to find my hostel.
Well, you got some exercise in. That's something.
Yeah. Do you black out?
I have blacked out. But again, I also have a good autopilot. I always make it home. I've never like done something beyond like that's, ruined my, reputation or something. You know what I mean? I can still keep a good sense of what's going on, even if I am like blacked out. But the worst has been in Korea. I lost my phone in Itaewon, and my phone at that time I used to put my like debit card in my phone case, so I'd lost my phone and my only like card from my bank here. But Korea being Korea, it was not lost. Someone did find it. They called, to let me know that they had it, and I picked it up the next day. It was fine, untouched. No one, stole any of my, info or whatever. So thank God.
Thank God.
Yeah, but
it never happens to me when I lose my phone. It's just gone to the wind.
oh shit, that sucks.
Number 9. If people do bad things while drinking, should we blame the alcohol or the person?
The person.
It's their fault that they got that way.
Yeah.
So they need to take responsibility for it.
Exactly. I think it's like the argument with most sort of substances. Like people usually say like, oh, like, that's the thing causing the problem. But it's like, no, because, not everyone acts a fool when they,
Yeah, like usually like
drink.
like when you're drunk, it also brings out your inner demons.
Exactly.
Too. So that's maybe when the person was sober, they're just actually hiding their true self. But when they're drunk, this is actually this is their real behavior, their real person.
And then sadly they'll say that the alcohol was the reason they did it. And it's like, no, that's not, you don't use it as a crutch. Like you did that. So yeah, I think definitely the person is the one to blame. Alrighty. And our last question is, do you know what DUI is? What is a suitable punishment for someone who drinks and drives?
So I personally don't drive, but I do know what a DUI is. So.
Yeah, means driving under the influence. Yeah.
What's a suitable punishment for someone who drinks and drives?
Death. I'm kidding.
Maybe they should try. Their punishment is they have to be like a taxi service to and have to drive the people home.
Oh my God, that's a smart one. Yeah. I mean, like in Australia, it's a big issue. We have a big problem with drunk drivers. And I mean, it's just such a selfish, awful thing to do because usually, for whatever reason, it's always the drunk driver is the one that's always like usually unscathed, like comes out of the crash like fine, but they have like caused like injury or death to the other drivers, sadly. So I think it's like one of the worst, not the worst thing you can do, but I think it's
irresponsible.
It's awful. It can be really, terrible. I don't know what punishment is suitable, but I'd say something worse than what is given as a punishment now, because a lot of people get off with just like a, very light punishment and they repeat and do it again. So I think there needs to be something. Yeah,
I know like it's like I think it's Norway or Denmark is basically the fine that you pay for drunk driving is like a percentage of your salary. So like in Canada, like if you're like busted, you have to pay like whatever $1,000.
Sure.
It's flat.
Yeah.
But like if in these countries, it's like a percentage of your salary.
Wow.
So if you're unemployed, you pay like $10. But if you actually are a millionaire, you're paying $100,000.
Oh, so it's like.
Yeah. So it's scaled to your salary, not.
Dang. Oh, that's a really good one. I like that. I think that would really help. Yeah.
So like the punishment matches your level in your life right now.
Sure.
But it's also you can't just put money. It's a lot of money if you get busted.
Yeah, that's a really good scheme. I think they should implement that in more countries. Yeah.
All right. Well, anyways, thank you guys once again for tuning into the Colcom Daily Questions. I've been Jeff.
And I'm Mia.
Okay, if you have further questions about Colcom, you can visit them on their webpage at colcom.co.kr.
Yes.
Bye now.
Bye.